Let's move on to the darts and the snooker. We were chatting, weren't we, to Mark Wilson yesterday about Luke Littler having won the Grand Prix, going off to play in the youth tournament that he won a couple of years ago. Well, he didn't win that one. Beau Greaves beat him.
Oh, amazing, really.
In a fine performance. So if he just thought he was going to go there and collect the 12 grand, he got that wrong. Rob Maul joins us now from The Sun, who keeps a close eye on the darts and the snooker and more. Good afternoon, Rob.
Hi, guys. The World Youth Final or Championship qualifying rounds normally passes us by, but yeah, yesterday it was the hot topic.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny because it's not streamed anywhere. You can't watch it. And the Darts Connect website might have probably crashed the amount of people that were following Luke Littler's passage through this 128-player field. And given that he surprisingly signed up for it, although he's eligible to do so. And then, of course, he met Beau Greaves in the semi-final, and it was the talk of, it was on my timeline on social media, it was what everyone was talking about, even though they couldn't see a single dart thrown. They're having to watch the stat sheet to try and work out who's done what. And it looked like Littler had almost missed it. He did actually miss a 9-darter in leg 4, but of course there's no evidence of it because there was no live stream of it. So it's quite an unusual day in the life of Luke Littler, but there's been many of those, I think.
Yeah, he was very generous, though. He sort of gave her full credit. So she played brilliantly. So,
I mean, we know of Beau Greaves. She's rocked up at the Worlds before. Didn't she decide not to compete last year, Rob? Is that right?
Yeah, so she's won the women's world title 3 years in a row. Yeah. It's a WDF event, which is in December. It's a little bit contentious because the PDC want you to be on their show, they only believe in World One, the world champion. I understood why she did it last time, because she's made, world titles. She's now got a tour card on the table. She's actually done enough this year to qualify for a tour card. The assumption is, she hasn't confirmed it, that she will take it, which would mean she can't therefore compete in the women's world title 2026. And Luke, as you said, Andy, Luke actually said to her, I hope you don't take that tour card, because I think he realised in the back of his mind, my goodness, this woman can actually go toe-to-toe with me when it matters. 136 average in those 11 darts, 84 checkout under pressure. She was 4-2 down, 5-4 behind, and she wins 6-5. For her to do that again, she doesn't hold any fear against Luke. It's 1-1 in their PDC rivalry. And I think he was sort of joking, half joking almost, thinking, my goodness, if we're playing each other next year many times. I mean, that is the future of darts now, isn't it? Luke Littler, 18, Beau Greaves, 21. They've got 4 world titles between them, and it's going to be a fixture that we're going to talk about potentially for the next decade or so.
And moving through the PDC rankings and playing at the Worlds and the notoriety that gives you, you would imagine, I mean, she's only got to look at Luke to see how lucrative that can be. So, I mean, there is great opportunities for her, isn't there?
Are you saying, are you going to put your money on her winning the world title?
Well, I don't know about that, but I certainly should go. I mean,
my life really busy this Christmas.
We saw Fallon Sherrick do very well, but Beau, if she could go really,
no
really.
reason why a woman.
No, exactly. We're going to come onto this with age in snooker, so she could go really deep into the tournament, and that could be very lucrative, couldn't it?
No, I was being facetious. You're absolutely right. I mean, look, it's one of the very few sports, a bit like snooker, maybe even equestrianism, where men and women can compete on equal footing, and Beau has shown many times that she can beat men at the highest level. She hasn't done it at the Worlds. Fallon Sherrick, as you say, 6 years ago, is the only woman to have done it at that level. Anastasia Dobroslova did it at the Grand Slam many years ago. But in terms of the Worlds, depends on the draw. I mean, look, they could play each other, of course, in that first round. You never know. That would be quite tasty if but there's no reason why she can't. She's just had stage fright. She's just not been able to get over the jitters when it comes to that big stage. But with the more time she plays events like this, and she'll play at Minehead, of course, the final of the World Youth against Jan van Veen in front of a big audience at Butlins in Somerset, that will only help her confidence when it goes to Ali Pali. If she decides, of course, to play there, because she could decide to defend her women's world title instead.
Oh, interesting. So going on to what you were saying just now, we were saying that effectively there's no reason why they can't compete together. You could argue at 50 years old, there's no reason why you can't be at the top of your game in snooker. But Mark Williams has become the oldest winner of a ranking event over at the Jean Grand Prix final. And it struck me, 50 years and 206 days. I mean, why? Is it Andy thinks it's the eyes that go? What happens to you at 50 that you can't win the big events anymore?
Well, yeah, I mean, according to Mark Williams in the summer, his eyes have gone. He's basically said, I can't see the balls, and yet he got to the world final and lost to Zhao Xingtong. He's just won in China, hasn't he? He's smashing Sean Murphy 10-3. So, yeah, I mean, look, if you're hitting a stationary ball, you need your hand-eye coordination. And yet, it can't be muscle memory. I mean, look, if you listen to Mark, he really is struggling with his eyes. And there are times when he might hit the odd errant mistake on the snooker table. But he's just a class act. He's just someone that's, don't forget him, Ronnie and John, they did the amateur circuit in the 1990s. They were hardened by the time they got to professional ranks at 18, 19. And they've all been able to push each other on. They don't want to be the first one to retire. They're in the top 5 or 6 spots in the world rankings. It's an incredible feat. There's no reason why Mark Williams cannot win a title at 55 or 60. There's no reason why he can't do that. But the body does break down. It depends how you look after itself. And Mark does like a kebab and a pint to celebrate. So maybe he's cut that down now. But the point is, he's still competing. And the thing about snooker is you're not going to get a Luke Littler, really. It's got a bit of longevity, isn't it? It does take time. The patience is such a mental torture, isn't it, to sit in that chair when your opponent is racking up the centuries. And as Kyron Wilson found last week against Sean Murphy. So, look, I think Mark Wilson has got a great attitude. He's still, £177,000. It was no small mean feat, that trophy. Ranking title. He eclipses Ray Reardon, who was 50 when he won it in 1982 when Mark was 7. So what an achievement for him. But Mark self-deprecatingly said, it's not much of a record because Ronnie's going to beat me this season and John's going to beat me this season. So the three of them are going to try and finish on top, aren't they? And of course, if Ronnie goes to the World Championship with a new cue and wins the title at 50, what an achievement that would be, wouldn't it? So,
absolutely.
There's a lot of interesting action going on this season, I think, between those three.
Nice one, Rob. Thanks very much. We'll catch up with you soon.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Rob Maul there.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.